name is Mike Foti, and I'm with Stream Energy, as many of you know. And in 4 minutes for free, I help you pay a little less on your energy bill, both electric and gas. That's it. And I want to thank this group because LITIP is the most amazing networking group, especially this local chapter. You've given me over 200 leads, actually customers, in the last 2 years. So thank you for that. Today I want to divert a little bit, just give you an idea a little bit about who I am by detailing one of my latest pursuits. I want you to know how pathetic my life was, all right? I'm actually writing a book, and when you hear that, you probably think, as I do, who is that guy to write a book? Why would I read that guy's book? What did he ever do? Well, fortunately, the book's really not about me. It's about someone who changed my life. So hang with me a second as, again, I show you how messed up my life was. Now, I struggle with ADHD, so the title of the book is The A.D.D. Entrepreneur, From Mess to Success Via the Power of God. Hang with me here. It was a beautiful, balmy day, 90-degree day, on August 7, 2010 in Blackwood, New Jersey, when it dawned on me that I had to get out. I don't want to be here anymore, I said. I need to escape. No, I was not bound and gagged after being abducted for ransom by terrorists. An escape from such a predicament at least would have had the potential aspect of some respect. Regretfully, embarrassingly, I had simply locked myself inside the back of my own cargo vending van. There was a child protective cage between the front and the back, and I was in and the wind blew the door shut. Child protective locks, there I was. 90-degree day in the ShopRite parking lot, wondering if this could be the last day when it was heating up. So I did the most natural thing anybody would do. I went to the back window, sweaty, pressed my face up against it, and started pounding to any passerby. Let me out, let me out. Unfortunately, an 80-year-old woman almost had a heart attack. I think she assumed I was an escaped mental patient hiding in the van or someone trying to abduct her.
That's wrong.
Yes. Fortunately, a younger woman eventually let me out. And trust me when I tell you that at that moment, the only feeling more profound than gasping in that fresh air was that of being the mayor of Loserville. Seriously, I was 42 years old and locked in the back of my own van. I didn't lock myself out of my van. I locked myself inside my van. But that was, well, what was worse, as you will see, was that was not uncommon in the life of this ADD entrepreneur. That day was different, however. Thankfully, that day I realized I needed to escape more than just that hot van. I needed to escape my loser, disorganized, distracted, pathetic, going nowhere life. I had to stop trying every new enticing job, hoping it would be the next big thing. I had to somehow find my true talent and for once just focus. No more being a jack of all trades and a master of none. Thus began the first day of my journey of escape, and just like someone freed me from the van that day, someone was about to free me from my struggle, and it was a person I never expected. Cut to scene 2, I'm at my counselor, my therapist, Alice, recommended by my good friend. Alice D'Agostino, by the way, the most amazing therapist. So I said, Alice, I hope this next venture works. It has to work. She said, another one? She said, when's the last time you got on your knees and asked God to bless your business? I said, huh? Who does that? I never did that. Seems kind of selfish. I actually found a prayer in the Bible from an Old Testament guy named Jabez. He says, he actually prayed that prayer. He said, oh, that you would bless me indeed and enlarge my territory, that your hand would be with me and that you would keep me from pain. Found out the guy was asking for God's blessing, not to be rich, but to have more influence and tell people how great he was. So I get on my knees, a tearful, heartfelt prayer, because I was going nowhere. I wanted to be a better father, better provider. A lot of things needed to change. I get up after asking God to bless my new business, and Deneen and I started Stream Energy, never expecting what would happen next. I actually checked the record books. In the first 3 months and 3 weeks, we had over 1,050 people join our stream business. And they bought into the business, okay? So there I was, putting Richard Branson's words into action. When someone shares with you something that's amazing and you don't understand it, get in and run and figure it out along the way. That's what we did. So the book is a compilation of the 5 stupidest things I've ever done that wasted my time in business and the 5 smartest things I did. It profiles people, not like Oprah Winfrey, Michael Jordan, or the Beatles, or J.K. Rowling, who by sheer persistence became successes, but it profiles unknown people that at their last leg got on their knees and asked God to change their life. Anybody ever hear of Mike Lindell? The pillow guy, mypillow.com? All right? Here's his mugshot. Crack addict, all right? Crack addict, cocaine abuser, alcoholic, did a 2-week binge, so crazy he didn't sleep for 2 weeks. The drug dealers wouldn't sell him any more drugs. They had an intervention for him. So he gets on his knees, asks God to change his life, gets up and sells 25 million pillows. More importantly, gave back to the community in some ways that were absolutely miraculous. One of the things I also learned from my good friend Presley Swaggerty is there's a verse that says, don't be a fool. Good company corrupts bad company corrupts good character. And as iron sharpens iron, one man sharpens another. But there's a secular study proving you become the average of the 5 people you hang out with the most. Physically, spiritually, economically. If you're putting down a case of Bud 3 times a week at the bowling alley, after a couple of years, you're probably going to take on some common characteristics of your buddies, right? Economically. You hang out with people that see that glass half full always, that see failure as a necessary step to success, you're going to start making probably some pretty good money. See, these winners, these people, believe that the mind is like a parachute. If it's open, it can save your life. If it doesn't open, it can kill you. So I've learned to take risks, calculated risks, because you have to. So I'll end with this. Oh, one more thing I want to profile, and this is not a politically correct book, it might offend some people, is The 3 Murderers That Changed the World. I didn't know till reading that Moses actually killed an Egyptian guard, Apostle Paul was hunted down and killed Jews, and that King David was an adulterer and a murderer as well. But when all 3 realized who they were and got on their knees and asked God to change their lives, he not only changed them, he went on to change the world with them. I'll end with this. My good friend Rich here, thank God, my mentor, we invested in a Broadway production 15 years ago called Amazing Grace, the story of John Newton. Never knew how bad John Newton was. Of course, he wrote the most sung song ever, Amazing Grace. He was a slave trader, a vile human being. You have to see how bad this person was. Well, he realized who he was, got on his knees, God changed him so much, he penned those words, Amazing Grace, that saved a wretch like me. Went on to free slaves, used his life savings to buy them out of slavery, became a pastor. So I'll end with his words because the A.D.D entrepreneur from mess to success via the power of God, these words of John Newton apply to me. I am not what I ought to be. I am not what I want to be. I am not what I hope to be in another world. But by the grace of God, I sure as heck am not what I was. So guys, the A.D.D entrepreneur from mess to success via the power of God, coming to an Amazon site near you. I hope it helps some people. Thank you. Any questions? Maybe not. Thank you.